Welcome to Explain America. I'm your host, Kyle Becker. Well, FBI Director Kash Patel has sent an ominous warning to the deep state, and the fallout, it's been immediate. But before we get into this, please like, share, and comment Explain America. Join us. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. FBI Director Kash Patel, he was a controversial pick going in to run the nation's premier law enforcement agency. And Patel, he's kind of bided his time waiting to see what evidence pops up in the probe into the Russia collusion hoax and into various bad faith actors who have been operating inside the American people's government for over a decade, beginning with the Obama administration. Now, those officials clearly and in a documented fashion weaponized the law enforcement and intelligence communities to shape political narratives that were preferential to the Democratic Party under both the Obama and Biden administrations. There is no objective analyst who can look at this documentation, whether you look at Peter Strzok's operations in Crossfire Hurricane, or you're looking at the FISA warrants that were brought before judges that were on Carter Page. All of these things, the perjury traps that were sent, Michael Flynn and the wiretapping, and all of these things just add up to a picture where Biden and Obama officials operated with impunity for years and years and years, and finally a deep state reckoning could be coming. This is what Patel said, and this is in the context of a raid on Republican swamp creature John Bolton in a hunt for classified information. He wrote on X, "No one is above the law, FBI agents on mission." And that's a direct quote. Now, one of the things we have for his backup, in addition to J.D. Vance obviously repeating his message, showing like this is not Patel going out on his own, but this is a whole of government operation to try to restore faith and confidence in our law enforcement community and in our intelligence agencies, is that FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, he essentially backed up this message and said public corruption will not be tolerated. And here, because we have been waiting for a long time out here in middle America for there to be some sort of semblance of accountability for all of the rampant corruption. And we're talking hundreds of billions of dollars being looted from the Treasury, being sent to NGOs, being used for this war overseas that nobody voted for, and it's actually quite unpopular. So this has been a long time coming. And the raid, you might remember the FBI raid on Roger Stone, the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. It turns out, with the evidence that came out this week, there was a very, very flimsy premise for the FBI to go into Mar-a-Lago. It was quite simply a fishing expedition. That is what it was. They were afraid that Trump had information, that had dirt on the deep state, including the Russia collusion hoax and the origins of that. And we saw some recent declassified material. We saw Patel earlier talk about burn bags being found inside of Pentagon office space. And this had information on Russia collusion hoax and had people's names on it, like Brennan, Clapper, all the familiar characters here at Explain America, obviously. So this has been a long time coming. Let's listen to Dan Bongino talk about this, because I think you're going to get chills.
Let me ask you about, are you going to be looking into, Kash and Pam, any potential collusion between the DOJ, Letitia James, the novel legal theory of Alvin Bragg, or Nathan Wade or Fani Willis and the DOJ? Is that something? Has anything come up? Is there any way to determine whether or not evidence was destroyed in any of these cases?
Well, there's always a way to determine that. I don't want to comment on that specific case right now for a reason. I don't want to get ahead of the Department of Justice on that. But I want to say this. The FBI obviously has the public corruption portfolio. And yes, if you are a corrupt politician out there, if you are engaged in behavior, you know what you're doing, we're going to find you. I promise. No one is going to get off. The days of selecting and putting your partisan bias on and taking care of your friends, those days are over. You know what, Sean? I don't have any friends. I don't want any friends. Well, maybe outside of you and a couple of. I don't care. I didn't come here for the money. I didn't come here to make. I know.
No, you didn't go there for the money. I can tell people that for sure.
No, I didn't come here to make friends. I don't give a damn about friends. I don't have any friends. I don't want any friends. I got my wife. I got you, and I got a small crew of people. So I don't need any friends. If
you
you're
want a friend in D.C., get
around,
a dog.
We're coming for you.
That'll help.
Yeah, exactly. Right, you want a friend in D.C., right? Go get a Labradoodle like I have, because there are no friends in D.C. You've been doing this, 30 years? There are no friends here.
Well, this has been Kyle Becker with Explain America. What kind of accountability do you want to see moving forward? Who do you want to see get arrested next? This has been Kyle Becker, and we appreciate you watching Explain America.